step, something in my jeans. FOI, you know that's the team, huh?
Peace. This is your brother Aidan X, and welcome to the processing class. Is how did you get the teachings? Were you born in the nation, or did you get the teachings some different or other type of way?
Okay, so I actually got the teachings in college. I graduated from Kentucky State University, and it was probably like my junior year going into my senior year. I was just sitting in my dorm one day, and I was just like dwelling on, my everyday life. I was getting caught up in the cycle of doing the same thing every day. And I had hit my homie up, he was born in the nation, but he's not registered. And I hit him up and I'm like, man, can I come over to talk? He's like, yeah, bro, of course. I go over to his house. We start talking about stuff. And I asked him a question about the brothers in the nation. I'm like, they always looking like they walking upright. They always seem like they got some money and they got a good life. Like what's to that? And he was like, man, bro, I would just encourage you to get the book Message to the Black Men, and we'll talk after that. And so I ended up that probably like a week later, when we went home for break, I ended up buying Message to the Black Men when I went home in Indianapolis, and I started reading it, and it just opened my eyes. And then from there, I just started watching lectures by the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, and it's been the best ever since.
Yes, sir. What exactly in Message to the Black Man blew your mind? Just in particular, I know probably everything, but in particular, what first was what was the first eye opener?
The first couple pages when he said you can't put three into one. And what really what made me keen in a little bit deeper was when he asked the question, did God say that he was a spirit, or did somebody say that of him? And I was like, whoa, I ain't never asked myself that.
Yes, sir. Were you a Christian before?
Yes, sir. Grew up Christian household. Yes, sir.
And how was that experience exactly? Because the Nation of Islam, a lot of people think that's a huge jump. You're going from a Christian to what's considered a Muslim or radical point of view. So what was it about Christianity that didn't change and shape you the way that the Nation of Islam did?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing was because by nature, I felt like I was a spiritual person, but it was like I was missing something in Christianity. Like I wasn't feeling really empowered by it. I would go to church every Sunday, go to children's church, and I would always hear about Jesus, but I'm like, how can I make Jesus real in my life? And when I started really studying the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he empowered us. You get what I'm saying? And it wasn't really a difference per se, in my opinion. He was just giving us the reality of God, the reality of Jesus, and the reality of all the prophets, and how we could use the scriptures and really apply them to our life. So I would say that was probably the biggest difference for me.
Yes, sir. You said the reality of God and the reality of scripture. What is that reality that you learned from the teachings?
So far in my journey, I've learned that you are God. There's a God in you. Obviously, there's a supreme being, right? There's a God who originated the heavens and the earth, but the scripture teaches us that we're all gods, children of the Most High God. And when the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad broke that down, I was like, hey, well, I don't got to really sit around and think I'm a worthless piece of nothing and just keep praying to God, and I don't have to do any work myself. It's a God up in me. When I started listening and following the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad versus when I was, following Christianity, it was kind of like, we love God, we love Jesus, but I couldn't really stand up on my own 2 feet and bring the type of life that I wanted for myself into existence.
Yes, sir. And who were you before the teachings, before you came into this knowledge, you know, as a Christian, because we hear a lot of brothers, they may come from gangbanging, or they come from the party life, or they come from, you know, the sleeping around life, or they just may come from a delinquent life. What was your life, you know, as Zion X, before you was Zion X, before the X? What was that life looking like for you?
For sure. Brother, I was the sleeping around guy. Just getting caught up, keeping it 100, just getting caught up in the fraternity life in college, young. I got my own car, got my own apartment. I was, getting it in every day, drinking, smoking heavy. Um, and even, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I was hearing the teachings, I was still doing that. It wasn't until recently when I was like, I made up in my mind, like, dog, I want to join the Nation of Islam. I got to cut this out. And I don't mind putting this to the side because it's going to make me a better person. So I would say before really following the teachings heavy, I was getting it in.
Yes, sir. And what made you want to, like you said, put it to the side? What made you like put that up? Because, you know, it has to, you know, as a young man, it has to be something strong, you know, to make you want to put away this life, because the devil makes evil fair seeming. So what made you want to? What part of the teachings made you want to change your lifestyle?
It would have to be the part where originally we didn't do none of this stuff, G. You feel me? We weren't a people that just poured liquor all down our lungs. You get what I'm saying? We didn't sleep with multiple women. You get what I'm saying? We didn't smoke till we couldn't smoke no more. We were a productive people and builders of civilization. So getting that knowledge in one ear and then doing that stuff in the other ear, you kind of like having a fight with yourself. But then when you start hearing that the teachings more, it kind of pulls you over like, gee, this isn't you. This isn't you. This isn't you. You're the original man. You're the black man. You strong. And that's what made me start putting it down, easier and easier.
Sir.